The dawn of a brand new college hockey season is here, and we are excited to cover it from start to finish on another year of North Dakota Hockey Central, your television home for all things UND hockey. I'm your host, Alex Heinert, and for 30 minutes each week, this show's goal is to get you closer to the coaches, players, and staff on the greatest college hockey program in the country. Coming up on today's show, we will chat with Brad Berry about his team's busy offseason and get the coach's thoughts on UND's first game action of the year against Bemidji State. We will also preview what to expect from North Dakota this campaign with Brad Schlossman of the Forks Herald. But first, it's time for this week's installment of UND Insiders Through These Doors. Enjoy.
Through These Doors is presented by Gate City Bank.
Near side, Reese Gaber shoots, scores! Finally out the near left side comes Sanderson. Into the Bemidji zone, shoots and scores! Final score in the opening game of the season. North Dakota 2, Bemidji State 1. In order to set the tone for the 2021-22 season, work in the weight room starts early.
With the way last year ended and us coming so close, there was kind of a little bit extra motivation just to, be an animal in the gym and get to working out right away. But I think with a lot of the new faces on our team and a lot of new guys that came in, we're all excited to meet everybody. And now that we're all here and starting school and practicing with the coaches, I think we're ready for the season to start.
Great. Obviously a lot of new faces this year, so the off-season was even more important. But getting to meet everyone that's new and kind of building some chemistry with everyone's been awesome, and then obviously getting back on the ice with the coaches has been a lot of fun as well.
I think, personally for me, just making a devotion to go to the gym every single day, not missing a day, and just being focused while I'm there, not going there and going through the motions, just lifting weights to lift weights. You're kind of visualizing yourself on the ice, being stronger in a battle or something like that, kind of picturing it on the on-ice aspect.
Yeah, off-season's obviously huge for everyone. I take a lot of pride in the work I put in the off-season and trying to work like we're playing games. That's how you're going to play, is how you practice. So making sure that I'm giving it my all and trying to be a leader in the weight room and on the ice.
It's a situation here where collectively as a group, our guys are focused. And, when you think about the game of hockey, you play for about 7 months and it's a grind, but, it's a situation where those other 5 months away from playing competition, you have to maintain and keep your body in great shape, and those guys have. And, when you talk about body mass and body fat and power and strength, they've done a great job, and our guys are lean and they're ready to get after it this year.
Preseason workouts give the newcomers a look into the team culture.
Catcher, Schultz!
they saw from the outside what goes on here, but until you really come in these doors and really look around and be part of it, you really don't know. And they're wide-eyed. They're excited about being here. They're excited about the year ahead, and I think one of the things they comment on is how elite or how professional it is, and everything we do from our on-ice practices to our workouts to as far as how we replenish them with hydration and nutrition, and recovery. It's a big deal here, and they absolutely love it, and they can't wait to get the season started.
Yeah, I think, like I said before, we have a lot of new faces, so we're kind of standing on the ice a little bit extra longer, kind of build that chemistry. And guys like Reese and Ethan, I played with Ethan last year, so I feel like we have a good base. But on the power play now this year, I'm with Reese, so just trying to keep the flow going and build that chemistry and kind of know where he is and where I'm going to be and just get used to each other on the ice.
It's something that's outstanding, and you can't force players into doing more than what we have scheduled here, but what they do on their own time afterwards is amazing as far as how they want to develop. And so our day starts with coming in and they have a light breakfast. They work out with Mark Pullman, and we get on the ice together as a group, and after that they go to class for a few hours, and then they have the opportunity later in the afternoon to come back here, and it's great to see some guys go in the weight room and get an extra workout in. Some guys go on the ice by themselves or in a small group. And I think when those guys go out together by themselves in a small group, they develop instant chemistry together. And when you talk about power play units or different things regarding our system and structure, they work on it together with small groups as far as trying to build that reps on the ice, but also the chemistry as far as getting a feel for playing with each other. So I'm really proud of the way our guys dig in, after the time they have with us.
Yeah, it's been awesome. Obviously, coming in, the upperclassmen did such an amazing job and showing you what it's like to be a North Dakota hockey player, what it takes. And I take a lot of pride and humbled to be in that spot now where I can help people and show them what it takes to be a North Dakota hockey player.
Well done to Cassie Niles, Tyler Hasted, and the entire Through These Doors crew as that program begins its 11th season. We are just getting started here on North Dakota Hockey Central. After the break, we'll catch up with head coach Brad Berry. That's coming up next. Welcome back to North Dakota Hockey Central. A big part of our show each week is always a conversation with the man in charge of the nation's premier college hockey program, UND head coach Brad Berry. The three-time NCHC Coach of the Year is with us now from inside Ralph Engelstad Arena. Brad, thank you for joining us, and welcome to the start of another college hockey season.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. It's great being here to start the season again here.
This year will mark your 7th season in your current role, and you're number 19 overall at North Dakota. I got to ask, how fast has the time gone, especially since you took over the program in 2015?
Wow, it's been a blur, and when I say a blur, it's been great. A lot of great times here, a lot of championships, a lot of great players coming through our program, and I think it's one of those things where I'm grateful and fortunate and blessed to be part of another different group coming through here again. We got 14 new faces, and each year brings a new opportunity, and really excited about the year ahead with this group.
Brad, this offseason might not have been as unique as some others in your tenure, specifically last offseason, but replacing 13 players had to present a challenge. How did you and the staff go about rebuilding half of the roster in one spring?
Well, I think it was a situation where normally a freshman group coming in would be anywhere from 6 to 8, 9 at the most, probably freshmen. And, we had a lot of guys leave our program due to a good thing, whether it's graduation or guys signing NHL contracts. We had a couple of very good years here, which presents opportunities for other guys to sign pro contracts. So we had to bring in 14 players, and that would have been a little bit, far from real on bringing 14 true freshmen or 14 freshmen in. So, we have some transfers that came into our program. The NCAA allowed players to transfer without sitting out a year of eligibility, and we took advantage of trying to get some older guys in our lineup while still bringing in some younger players. And we have 5 transfers and 9 freshmen, and a really good returning group of 13 players. We feel that's a good mix, and they're coming together as a group day by day here.
The public is still getting to know this new look UND team, but the guys themselves have been together for a couple of months now. How have you seen this team's chemistry begin to grow, both on and off the ice?
Well, I think we're starting to see it on the ice now. You know, we have a small body of work with just the one exhibition game against Bemidji, and I thought we did some really good things in there. Some things we need to work on, obviously, but you know what I really see them growing together is off the ice, in the weight room, in our area downstairs at the Ralph here, in the community doing community service. Doing team building events away from the rink here, you know, so I really see this group getting close and tight. They care for each other, and now it's just a matter of just getting in sync with each other and on the same page when we do get on the ice for games.
It is an interesting dynamic to go from the 2020 team that was almost unchanged from the year before to this version, which feels brand new. What are the positives, Brad, of getting to work with so many new players like this?
Well, I think it's them. I think what's exciting is, you know, we have players that are transferring from other programs. They probably do something different than what we do at our program. So it's those older guys kind of learning how we develop in our culture and how we do things on a day-to-day basis. It's our new freshmen coming in here. You know, it's a step quicker, step faster, step stronger in practices and in the games. So they're getting acclimated that way. But I think the biggest thing is having those 13 returners that had a lot of success over the last 2 years kind of keep building and forming our identity here within those two new factions coming into our group here. And you know, when you got the Jake Sandersons, the Reese Gabers, the Mark Sendens, the Ethan Frishes of the world, Judd Caulfields that are coming in here that have done the things on a daily basis for the last 2 years, it's nice to know we're in good hands of putting that onto the new guys.
100%. Yeah. Well, one aspect that isn't new is how strong the leadership group is on this team, led by senior forward Mark Senden. What made him the choice to wear the C this year?
Well, you know, I believe that our coaching staff had an idea that probably was the direction what we wanted to go with our captain. You know, look at his body of work. He was a captain on a high school championship team in Wayzata. He was a captain of Fargo Force championship team in the USHL. So this would probably be the natural progression for him after being here 3 years and seeing what goes on. But again, we leave it up to the players as far as voting for their captains, and it was emphatic. It's exactly what we thought, that they voted him team captain, and he has all the qualities of being a great leader.
Well, Mark and his teammates got a chance to take the ice this past Saturday with an exhibition test, not versus Manitoba, who would have potentially had issues entering the country, but against Bemidji State instead. Talk about why the Beavers were the choice as the opponent once the Bisons were ruled out.
Well, a couple things go into it. Probably just, you know, a close neighbor down the road as a top-end D1 program. You know, we have a lot of time and respect for the University of Manitoba Bison team, and that's a great relationship we have every year playing them. But, you know, due to COVID, it became a little tough knowing that there was going to be certainty of them getting over the border, and we needed to play that game. Like, you know, we've been off long enough, we needed to play that game. So they understood, you know, we made a call into Bemidji. They had an open weekend, we did too. So it kind of logistically made sense of them being 2 hours away, and knowing that we play them in a couple weeks again, it didn't matter. It was good about getting other players into the lineup to see what they could do.
For all the focus on the newcomers on this team in the game, it was a pair of returners who scored in the exhibition as 2021 NCHC All-Rookie picks Reese Gaber and Jake Sanderson got the goals. What should we expect from those two now in their second year in college hockey?
Number one, leadership. You know, as far as just not wasting a shift or wasting a day, like they maximize their days when they come into the rink, which really, I guess, resonates with the rest of the team on the bar. Like, they push the bar to the highest level, and everybody's got to try to get to that level, and they do that. But I think also too, just you know, from an elite skill standpoint, they've got huge compete in each one of them, but they got an elite skill. And you saw the other night the goal that Reese scored, the goal that Jake scored, kind of the plays they made all night. And it was their first game as well as everybody else's. That they look like they're in mid-season form, and that's good to know.
You mentioned a bit ago, both teams did play a fast, physical game throughout. How will the speed and physicality that we saw Saturday prepare your group for this week's regular season opener?
Yeah, well, again, like I said, it's one of those things where, you know, you had a top-ranked team in the country in Bemidji coming in here, and, you know, with all their experience, that that was a man's game. And it was, like I said, it was a situation where you had no time to warm up or get into the game. You had to be both feet in, and I thought our guys did a good job there. Well, now it's non-conference, and it's Niagara, a very good team as well coming in here, and it's for keeps. Non-conference is just as important as conference play on winning games to increase your pairwise standings, points in the standings, and try to get to the national tournament. So again, like, it's a situation where we can't look at it as an exhibition game. It's winner take all, and we got to make sure that we have that mentality.
You just alluded to it. You'll be at home for the opening weekends of the regular season with a pair of games Friday and Saturday against Niagara of Atlantic Hockey. You last played them in 2015. What should we know about the Purple Eagles?
Well, you know, Jason Lammers, I'm a good friend of Jason, and Jason's a really good coach, and you know, he's had a chance to be there a couple of years now and bring in his players that he wants and play the way that he wants to make that team play. And you know, they're a hard team to play against as well. They play with an extremely fast pace. They're a physical team. And we got to make sure that we're ready. And you know, like I said, I think it's a situation we came off of a ranked team, and now we're playing against an unranked team that we can't have that mentality that they're just another team coming in. They're a good college hockey team with a good coach, with a good brand of hockey, and we got to make sure that we exceed their level of play on the ice here.
Yeah, good test to start the season. Well, it was great to see your team in action in front of a full house this past weekend, Brad. I think we're all excited about what's in store this year. Thanks for the time today. Best of luck to you and your group this weekend and throughout the season ahead, Brad.
Yeah, thanks, Alex. We're really looking forward to it. We were super happy that we had a packed house for an exhibition game here, and you know, the fans are hungry for it, and so are we.
Yeah, 100%. Awesome. Thanks, Coach. Well, as we close in on the start of the regular season, it's a good time to get the thoughts of one of the nation's best college hockey writers. Brad Schlossman joins us to preview UND in 2021-22 next. Welcome back. No one covers college hockey like Brad Schlossman of the Forks Herald. Brad has been covering North Dakota since the mid-2000s, and he joined me during UND's exhibition game against Bemidji State this past weekend. Here now is that conversation with Brad. You've been watching this North Dakota team evolve since the Penrose Cup and everything that happened last year in the postseason. Have you ever seen a transformation from one year to the next quite like this?
Not quite like this. I think back to some of the other years with large turnovers that they've had. I think my first year covering the team, they had 13 freshmen. So it was a little different in the sense that they have 14 new players, but they're not all freshmen trying to come in and start college hockey for the first time. And I thought, you know, watching the first couple periods here, you could tell Connor Ford is not one of those freshmen. He's a guy that's jumping right in and looking to assert himself into a prominent role on this team.
It is unique that North Dakota has brought in essentially the WCHAL conference team to sort of bolster some things. What have you made of Zach Driscoll so far in the opening 40 minutes, and how key is he going to be to this team's success this year?
Yeah, you know, they need someone they can rely on in goal. He's played tons of games. You know, he's made some big saves. There was one on Samoza, I remember, that he shouldered aside, and that's a really good shooter for Bemidji State. So a good start for him. And now they got to try to find a way to get him a little bit more goal support. Yeah, along with the transfers, a lot of new freshmen as well. We've seen Jake Schultz already be inserted into the top 6. Who stands out to you about the incoming 9 freshmen to this group? Yeah, I think he's the guy. I think he's the one who's going to step in, and he's already playing a top 6 role. He was on the second power play unit tonight. You know, it looks like he's ready to play a big role. The one thing I noticed too early was Nick Port's getting penalty kill time right away. He was the first forward they threw over the boards to kill the first penalty. That says a lot, you know, that they're willing to put him in that situation right away. Ports has been awfully close to finding himself on the score sheet tonight. A couple of good chances for the St. Cloud freshman. Meanwhile, returning-wise, North Dakota brings back a lot of experience, both in front and at the back. Maybe not as much as they were hoping, but they also do bolster their ranks with the return of Jake Sanderson, who you think is going to be the best player in college hockey this season. Yeah, I think so. And you know, we've seen him take over at times in games. I think, you know, it'll be interesting to see what happens in the third period here, but clearly he can generate chances at any time. And I really think a lot of times this day and age in college hockey, teams are as good as their defensive cores. And that is one area where North Dakota's definitely their top 4 look really solid. You know, I thought Chris Jandrick, you know, you can see he's going to fit in pretty well. So we know Tyler Clevin, Jake Sanderson, and Ethan Frisch can play big roles on this team. And obviously Sanderson is the difference maker. UND fans are watching an NHL player play in college hockey right now.
It will be a treat to watch number 26. We were excited to see your coverage this week. A bumper season preview coming your way in the Grand Forks Herald. Brad, best of luck this year covering this squad. Enjoy it.
Thanks a lot, Alex.
Good stuff as always from Brad, who is entering his 17th season covering UND hockey for the Herald. Schloss, Midco Sports, and 11,000 of our closest friends will be at the REA again this weekend for North Dakota's regular season opener against Niagara, a series we'll preview right after this. Let's check in on what's happening around college hockey, starting with this week's USCHO.com poll. Minnesota State is the new #1 in the country after sweeping defending national champion and preseason #1 UMass in Amherst this past weekend. North Dakota comes in at #8. The Fighting Hawks, who are the 2-time defending Penrose Cup champs, were picked 3rd in the NCHC preseason poll, behind St. Cloud and Minnesota Duluth. Voting was close for spots 2 through 6 in the poll, an indicator of just how competitive everyone expects the conference race to be again this season. After 3 NCHC teams began regular season play last week, the rest of the conference gets in on the act this Friday and Saturday. 7 non-conference series are on deck as everyone but Miami is in action. Other than the Minnesota State-St. Cloud showdown, the other matchup between ranked teams involves #5 Minnesota Duluth and #15 Bemidji State in a home-and-home. North Dakota, meanwhile, will open the regular season against Atlantic Hockey's Niagara Purple Eagles, a team UND has only played a handful of times in program history.
I don't really know a lot about them, but we can't take them lightly, that's for sure. We got to just play our Sioux hockey game, that's it.
Catch North Dakota take on Niagara from Ralph Engelstad Arena Friday at 7 p.m. and Saturday at 6 p.m. live on Midco Sports and streaming on NCHC.TV. That's all we've got for North Dakota Hockey Central this week. On behalf of our Midco Sports crew, I'm Alex Heinert. Enjoy the start of another UND hockey season, and I will see you at the Ralph.